is this. I personally will use my kids as an example. I tell my kids, in this house, you are in Nigeria. You are
wow.
You are in
so long as you are in this house, you are in Nigeria.
When you're in this house.
No, but do they know that Nigeria? Do your kids know Nigeria?
See,
or you taking them?
That is why I kept on using this language. You have to intentionally educate them about where you're from.
The need that Africans, we have to start developing our language, you know, because it's so sad that we call ourselves educated, but we are educated in someone's language.
Yep.
Most of us can't read our own language.
We're losing it.
We can't write our own language.
We're losing it.
So wait, if you can't read Yoruba, but you can read English and you call yourself educated.
Yeah. What kind of education do you have?
You are more enlightened. If you can't write.
Yep.
So wait. You are not. You are an educated illiterate, right?
Yeah, educated fool.
That when our ladies come here and they finish their nursing, most of them are divorced. They don't respect their husbands.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think about that issue?
So,
the minute they're done with the RN, you're done. The man is done.
So, think about it like this. Think about it like a little baby. Okay, you and I were sitting here. If a little kid comes here and I offer that baby candy, and you take that baby, let me bring your candy here, and you take that candy away from that baby, what do you think the baby is gonna like?
He's gonna hate me.
He's gonna hate you, and he's gonna like me.
Yeah.
Because I gave the candy and you took the candy away.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is.
So
now, when a lady comes to America, where there is plenty opportunity to become anything, which of course nursing is the first option that they have, all right, and they obtain that, and then they begin to see how much money that they're getting, and here you are, you're working elsewhere where you pay maybe your annual income is 25,000 or 27,000, and here they are coming home with 70,000. That's
80,000.
Double your income.
Sometimes triple.
You see what? Triple or double your income. Yeah, you've lost your place.
That's it. No, but it's not about money. It's about marriage and the family.
That's okay. Let me tell you something. Listen, it is about money.
Wow.
It is. It's not about marriage.
Isn't it about family? Like, oh, this is a family.
No.
Irrespective of the money.
No.
Or you think it's about money?
What you're talking about is the normal thing that should happen in the family.
Yeah.
Okay? It shouldn't be about money. Regardless of what your income is, we're married. Our money is the same. The same way if I'm the one bringing in 100,000, 50,000 every year and you're bringing way less, it's still our money because you're not going to spend yours, you want to spend mine. But the thing about it is that when they come in here and they begin to, let me also say this, it depends on who the woman is. It depends on who the woman is. There are some, especially, let me put it this way, some, you remember the analogy that I gave earlier on about village and city? Somebody who has not seen money, okay, who has not seen money, suddenly they're coming home with big money. They can't respect you. They can't respect you, and it is in our nature as a man to be respected.
Yeah.
Whether or not we have money, it's not our fault. That's how God made it.
Yeah.
Respect is something you cannot take away from any man.
Yeah.
You must give it, whether or not you're making more money. Now, from the moment a man loses his place, loses his respect, especially from his own wife, he feels less a man. And because he feels less a man, if he's the type that is timid, he will back out.
Yeah.
But if he's the type that still speaks up, he can regain his place, regardless what the woman makes.
Find any means.
You see what I'm saying? And then in the process of you trying to regain your place, if she tends to fight back, problem begins. And then divorce is the eventuality. There's a lady in Texas, she actually killed her husband.
Well,
or rather, sorry, the man killed the wife.
This one happened in Ohio. I think there were some Cameroonians or so.
This was actually a Nigerian. This man killed the wife. Why? Because he brought her from Nigeria. When she got here, he paid her through school for nursing. Then the moment she finishes, then she started making money. She's like, yeah, I don't know you no more. The guy was like, you don't know me. I brought you here. You don't get it. Lie down dead. Lie down dead. So an individual character it should be considered here. There are phenomenal women out there that, regardless how much money they make, they will still respect their man. They will still respect their man. And there are some. You just with them small money. I mean, okay, there's a guy who lives in New York, right? He went to this is a very funny story. He went to a party with his supposing wife. He went home alone.
Wow.
Yes, because somebody at that party was spraying money in a way that the wife was like, oh my goodness, this guy has money. The guy went home alone. I'm not saying girlfriend, I say wife.
Wow.
Wife. He went home alone. So, of course, you know, if you went home to go and bring a wife and you go and bring somebody whose mind has gone ahead of yours, you are finished now.
Let's talk about children. A lot of, I don't know if we see that in like Nigerian kids, but a lot of people, like when they bring their kids here, the trouble the kids will give them.
Oh yeah.
We call them Ghana made.
Yeah.
You know,
Ghana made.
Yeah, they were made in Ghana, but they came here when they were like 5 or 6 years. Those kids are so terrible. What advice do you have for parents who are struggling with difficult kids like that?
Actually, a lot of parents in America struggles with their kids. So my job here is not to you know, judge any parent, because raising African kids in America is difficult.
It's very difficult.
It is very difficult because now you have to merge two different cultures to ensure that you're not over disciplining them, and at the same time you're leveraging, you know, with American culture, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. So what I would suggest is this. I personally will use my kids as an example. I tell my kids, in this house, you are in Nigeria. You are You are in
so long as you are in this house, you're in Nigeria.
In this house.
No, but do they know that Nigeria? Do your kids know Nigeria?
See,
or you taking them?
That is why I kept on using this language. You have to intentionally educate them about where you're from. You have to intentionally take them there.
Do they watch Ojo?
Ojo,
like Sam Speedy. Sam Speedy.
Ojo.
Ojo.
Ojo, that's Ojo or Rain? That's
no. Like, I don't even know. Like, there's a Nigerian guy who does like comedy. He plays himself. The mother is his mother, and he's also playing.
Oh yeah, that's a couple of them like that on Instagram. But here's what I do. You see, we have resources in this country.
Yeah.
The problem. Let me first of all speak to the problem that some parents face with their kids in America. See, when they have a child in America, right, they over westernize them.
Okay.
They use the word, oh, we live in America. We live in America. But they fail to realize that at the end of the day, these kids, even though they're born here, they're Africans.
And they would never be accepted as Americans.
They are never, bro, here's what I say all the time. Black people are never ever, I repeat, black people are never ever, I repeat, black people are never ever gonna be accepted in America.
Wow.
Write it down. I'm telling you, it's never gonna happen. Now, let me leave that alone. Let me speak to those parents with their kids. Do not throw away your culture.
Okay.
Do not throw away your culture. The moment you do that, you're done. Because trust me, what America does, I mean, think about it. Historically, what America does is take away your culture and throw it away.
Yeah.
Historically, that's what they do.
If they throw your culture away, they've gotten you.
That's what I'm saying.
Most African Americans, they have no heritage because they took their language, took their culture. So now it's like and these same people are making you uncomfortable in your home. So it's like so where do they go?
Where do you go?
To the jail.
That's what I'm saying.
Go to jail.
That's where they belong.
Because if they still have their language, I was having this segment here, I think about a month ago, and I was talking about the need that Africans, we have to start developing our language, because it's so sad that we call ourselves educated, but we are educated in someone's language.
Yep.
Most of us can't read our own language.
We're losing it.
We can't write our own language.
We're losing it.
So wait, if you can't read Yoruba, but you can read English and you call yourself educated.
Yeah. What kind of education do you have?
You are more enlightened. If you can't write.
Yep.
So wait. You are not. You are an educated illiterate, right?
Yeah, educated fool.
Because it's so sad.
But do you know something? If you look to the Hispanic community, the opposite is the
case. You hardly find Spanish people say, I can't speak Spanish. Oh, my child doesn't speak Spanish.
As a matter of fact, they speak Spanish at home all the time.
Why do you think African parents do that? Most of us are guilty of that.
Yes,
that our kids don't speak our language. No. They listen to our parents. Oh, my parents speaking their language. Yeah, we're different.
You see, the problem is that we don't prioritize it. See, if you're a parent and you're an African and you live in America, you have to take an intentional step. It has to be intentional. It cannot be accidental. It has to be intentional. You have to say, I have to do A, B, C with my kids. My kids must be able to do A, B, C. You have to take that intentional step. It's an intentional thing to do. So if you don't, that's it. That's when they turn out, they don't hear your language, including my kids. They don't speak my language, but they understand.
Now they have to understand.
Now they understand. They don't speak it. And now I have now taken an intentional step to make sure that they speak as well as they understand. Do you understand? So you have to take an intentional step to ensure that that is done. Otherwise, it's never going to be done. Think about it. They go to school, they speak English all the time.
Yeah. They always speak
So
English.
You don't need the English at home.
Yeah.
You don't need it. I will teach you that, because if you don't, if you eventually take them home, they can be wise, they can be smart, but they're never going to be street wise.
No, but they won't even go home.
That's what I'm saying.
They look at your people like some.
No, actually, okay, for instance, my daughter wants to go to Nigeria like tomorrow. She's only been home once, and that once was when she was about 2.
So she didn't.
Now she's like almost 9, but she wants to go home badly. So there are times that we get lucky. We have some that they're so attached to African
culture.
If you see my girls, they dress up in African attire. They love it. They love it. Whereas you have some other Africans who have never actually made an outfit with African fabric and put it on their kids. Oh, my daughter says it's itchy. She can wear it. Oh my God. Oh, my sister, she doesn't like the hat. It's so itchy and it's tight. Sometimes it's itchy. So when you as a parent make such comment, it's an agreeable comment with them. Like, I feel the same way you're feeling. So there is no way you feel the same way they're feeling as they're rejecting the culture. Then you will not eventually in the future, maybe when they're grown, then you will not reintroduce the culture to them, the same culture that you condemn.
Then they're gonna fight back.
You see what I'm saying?
Get out of here.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm out.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm out.
Like my kids, I don't have to talk them into it. I've started giving my girl fufu since when she was 2. Oh goodness! You come out that I want to eat fufu.
That's good.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
you
good.
have to make that effort. I'm still a work in progress, and there are certain things that I still want them to know.
So I think one of my friends was telling me that we who were educated, that is where we come short, because we can speak the English.
Yeah.
So it's like it kind of comes unconsciously before you know you're speaking English to your kid.
Of course, because you live in a country where English
but
is spoken.
she was telling me, it's like, Ora, I can speak English. So my kid, what am I going to speak with them?
Yeah.
The only language I know is Chi.
Yep. So
I can't Chi. So it's like that is what they will speak. So they are benefiting.
Such a person needs to embrace that fact that they don't speak English, they speak Chi.
So it's really helping them a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but like, and she's like, you know what? You know how to speak English. You think you speak like a crazy language. So before you know, you're speaking out the English to them.
Yeah.
And they'll respond.
Yeah.
So long as you're speaking, they'll respond. But if I don't speak, the only language I tell you go this, go do this, go do that. They'll respond.
Yeah.
You know, so I think sometimes we partly to be blamed.
We're actually to blame. You can't say partly to blame. We are to blame.
We are wholly to be
because
blamed.
we gave birth to them. See,
and our kids
from the
can't
moment
speak our language. It's so sad
because they're born here.
No, but it doesn't matter. You born them.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if you give birth to a child, okay, you are the one shaping that child to become whatever it is you want them to become. All right.
But now the society is shaping them more than us.
Well, the society would shape them more than you if you let the society shape them more than you.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? When my kids goes to school, I mean, like I said, I had to take an intentional step to undo what I've done. Now, it might not be applicable to other family. Here's what I do. When my kids come back from school, I will tell them, what did they teach you in school today? Did you get into any fight, any argument? Do you have a new friend? I'm going to ask you all these questions so that whatever it is that has been injected, I can quickly take them out.
You can reject it
that same day. Don't let it be in 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Okay.
Instantly, I'm taking it out. Okay, the other day, my son came back home and said, was telling my my wife, oh, mom, is it true that white people used to be mean? Because they read about slavery, and it was like, what the what? These people did this to us? Oh my God. And I'm like, yes, they did. But guess what? You're going to grow up amongst them. You're going to work with them. One of them might actually be your boss, except if you have your own company. So what I'm saying to you is, you have to place yourself in the place of power. Where nobody will have no choice but to accept, acknowledge, and respect you. And how do you do that? Read your book. So use it to educate them, to energize them, to encourage them to do better in the academics and life decision making and every other thing. And you also have to let them know, if you bring anybody with pregnancy in this house, all is done. Don't say one girl now knows how to cook. Now, you get what I'm saying? So we have to take that, with everything that is going on right now, we just have to.
Wow, this is the African perspective with MC Omo, and it's so interesting. I've taken this that you told your kids the moment they step in the house, they are in Nigeria.
They're in Nigeria. If you step outside, you're in America.
In America, but you step inside.
You want to enter? I got that line from a friend of mine. His name is MCPC. So he's from Auchi in Nigeria. He said he tells his children that when you are in this perimeter here, you are in Auchi, Nigeria. When you open the door and you step outside,
you're in America.
So that's what I do with my kids. When you are in this house, you are in Nigeria. You are in Nigeria. When you step out, then you can begin to do your American. Then you enter here. Yeah. When I say stop, you stop. Immediately. When I say go there, you are going right. In fact, you are already going before I say go.
And you dare not talk back at me.
I mean, how dare you talk back at me? I mean,
that's an African father right there, right? How dare you talk? How dare you?
I'm talking. You want to talk back?
No. How dare you even look me in the eye when I'm talking?
But don't get me wrong, though. But don't get me wrong, because I want to make this. I just want to make this correction there. In as much as I am teaching them the African way, I allow them to speak. So that I want people, our viewers to also understand that. I allow them to speak. And then where correction is needed, I quickly make that correction. Where adjustment, I make that adjustment right there. I allow them to speak. A lot of times when in the heat of the moment, sometimes I get away. I let them do what they do. I get away. And then when I'm more calm, and I'll come back, because I work with situations like that. So I've learned from what I do that there are times that when situations get heated, you need to actually part ways and let it breathe let it breathe a little bit, then come back and readdress the situation. So sometimes I just let them have it, and then whatever they do, I'll just get away with it. I'll let them get away with it, and I'll come back later and I'll say, yeah, sit down. So what you did earlier, make sure it never happen again.
Like, oh my goodness.
You understand what I'm saying? Make sure it never happens again. When I mean again, I mean never. Here is why, here is why, here is why. But if you just approach the situation aggressively, they'll be scared of you. They'll be scared of you. They don't even want to talk to you. I mean, how can I have a child that doesn't want to talk to me? You're my child. How can you not want to talk to me?
So unfortunately, I had this white friend who's like, my son, that my daughter doesn't want to talk to me. I'm like, really?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You have a child that doesn't want to talk to you.
At that time, I had just come to the United States. I'm like, your child, really?
Yeah.
No, you don't even have that option.
You know?
Like, no.
The option is not available.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, I pray my kids, please talk to me. No, my kids tell me they won't talk. I'm African parent. You know,
so, you know,
I think it's a cultural shock for most of us.
Yes.
When you become a parent, and looking at what we went through, you know, there are certain things I don't argue with my parents.
Yeah.
You know, even when they're wrong, you just be quiet.
Yeah. That's the African
most
way.
of the times, like when they talk, you don't look them in the eye.
Yeah.
Because that's like, no. You don't do that.
Yeah. That's the African way.
You know, and it's in you unconsciously. You think the African is out of you until you meet a situation. When you meet a similar situation with your kids, it's like, oh my goodness. My son talked back at me. Oh my goodness. You know, your mom is saying something, you're talking back.
Yeah.
You know.
So here's what I try to do. There are times that because women they're more softer. So there are times that my son would do something without talk to my wife, you know, in a rude way.
Yeah.
He might not actually want to do that, but because of the heat of that moment, he would just say things. Now, two things will happen.
Yeah.
I'm not home. Secondly, I am home. So when I'm home, make sure it doesn't happen. When I'm not home, just assume that I am home. So what I do is, when things like that happen, I will definitely hear either from my wife or from my girls. Somebody will tell me. And what I do is I will call them. So earlier today, I hear that you said this to your mom. And you know, I told her this, but she wasn't listening to me. And so you should yell because she was not listening to you. Are you okay? The next time that I go out and I come back and your mother tells me that you're talking to her rudely, it's not going to be funny. You hear me? Make sure it doesn't happen again. So now go back to your mother and go and apologize. Now, that's something that a lot of Africans don't do. It's not enough for you to correct that child. It's not. It's good. It's a step towards that, but it's not good enough. The final decision should be you go back to that person that you were rude to and apologize.
Okay, but I heard this. Friends, we almost at the end. And okay, let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back. You know, we almost at the end of the program. So before that, you were talking about like your father being the disciplinarian and telling them. But I had this thing that sometimes I think that is also another mistake that we do, because look at this way. The wives wait for the fathers to come home to discipline them, and before you know, the kid will look at you as a monster, and that is the opposite effect of it. You're doing this right, but the kid will hate you inside. You know, deep down. My dad is a monster. When he comes home, everyone is quiet. Before you know, when they're in their teens or something, when they hear you coming, they'll give you a nickname.
Yeah, they run away.
They'll give you a nickname. You know, a guy is coming, everyone runs away. And the mom,
my kids call me headmaster.
You see, so the mom who you were trying to protect, now becomes their best friend, their confidant.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care and you grow older, and you go to Nigeria, they'll bring you a towel. And they'll give you a lot of money. So I think at some point we have to find the balance. Don't make them see you and only you as a disciplinarian.
Thank you.
You know, so it's always worked against the men. You know, because it's good that you have the power, you know, like, you know, you control things, but if you don't take care, you have to consciously, all right, intentionally, decidedly, sometimes let your wife do that dirty job.
Thank you.
because that is how our mothers did to us.
Yes.
And now most of us, we see our fathers as very crazy.
Yeah.
You know, your mom be like, yo, your dad is a liar, your dad is a womanizer. You know, the moms will pollute our minds before you know, unconsciously, you don't want to deal with your dad again.
Yes.
You know, but the thing is, we are also going to be dads.
Yep.
And now, if you don't take care of that cycle, that negative cycle will go on and on.
What we have to also do is acceptance.
Yeah.
See, accepting how we were raised, acknowledging it, you know, and accepting it. Now, see, when you accept how you were raised and you understand that it's not the best way to be raised, but due to the fact that you're now living in America where things are done differently, you would have to take that intentional step to ensure that you are able to balance both culture and raise your kids in a way. Because for me, what I do is I do a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I do a lot of talking with my kids. And the reason I do that is that's what I know how to do. I will discipline you when you're wrong. Then I will call you back later and then sit you down and have a conversation. Even to my youngest daughter, she's going to be 6 in next month. I will call her, we'll sit down, we'll be talking. So tell me, so what happened? Okay, so do you think what you did was right? I mean, think about it. I'm going to give you a second. Think about it. Do you think it's right? No. Okay, so if you think it's not right, why are you doing it? You understand? So those are the conversations that I have with my kids. I have never been presented with the opportunity to sit with my father and have a convagene. Are you couscous in your head?
No, it doesn't happen. No.
If it happens, it must be in a dream.
Yeah, like
I have never ever engaged in a conversation with my dad. Every conversation, every encounter that I've had with my dad, thank you. And only one person is talking.
No, you can't talk back.
That's what I'm saying. Only one person is talking, and that one person is my father. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I said about acceptance, accepting how you were raised, and taking that step to ensure that you're not also raising your kids the same way. So it's a lot of work. I tell people all the time, raising African kids in America, it's a lot of work.
It's a double work.
But guess what? I would rather do that work than regret it in the future.
Yeah.
I don't want you knocking on my door when you're 15, 16, or rather when you're 18, 20. I don't want to solve your problem at 20. I'm going to remain your father. You're going to come to me through certain things that I know you're unable to handle as a young adult. But there are certain things that I expect you to handle. Don't come to me for certain things. Don't come to me, you're done with school, you're working. You come and knock on my door for your bill. No, you're freaking working. Go deal. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to intentionally sit them down. Here's what I do. My son, right, is 18 now. No, rather 19. I will call him. I will sit him down. Say, here is what it means to have a good woman. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will list those things down. When somebody have all these things, that person is a good woman. If somebody has 1, 2, 3, and don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, begin to rethink. You have to say. You have to say the things that bring about divorce in this country. You have to tell your son. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things will bring about divorce. Statistically, it's there. These things cause divorce. So if you do not want to end up in divorce, make sure you correct those things before you even get into it. And if there's certain things that you're struggling with, let that woman know, Madam, sorry, when you come to my house, my shirts are always on the floor. My socks, I throw them on the roof. So I don't want to surprise you when you get there. Let these things happen. Let that conversation happen. So that nobody's surprised. So those are the things, those are the conversations. But a parent that is not always home, what time do you have to have this conversation? Is it just 3 hours or one day on Sunday that you only have to yourself that you're going to have this long conversation? You have to seize every opportunity to engage with your kids in the conversation so that they understand where you stand relative to them growing up, marrying, and also having a job. I think that's one thing that that I want. I have this show that I do every Saturday on Facebook Live, Black Talk Corner. So what I try to do is educate young adults on things on how the profession they should take on, Because if you're in this country, you can't take on some petty profession. You have to take on something better.
Yeah, you can't do like psychology, sociology.
To socialize with who? Psychology to go and psych with. I mean, you can do psychology, right? You can do psychology because psychologists actually they earn good money. And you don't do much. They don't do much, but they earn good money. But if you're here, you can do psychology. That's fine. But psychology is one of those professions that you can take on. You know, being a nurse, yes, if you're good with people, go for it. But you cannot go and say you want to go and read a dog walker. You want to go and do stage movement, stage management. Which stage are you managing? You're not going to go do something that you know there are barriers. Even before you finish, there are barriers waiting for you.
Yeah.
There are barriers.
Interior designer.
Interior. What are you in?
Who's African?
Who's going to call you to come and
maybe this guy, the richest guy. What do you call it?
How many are they? What is the population of rich people? You understand? So you have to be intentional in those decisions. Those are the things. That's my goal. My goal is to educate them. Don't go and say because my friend is studying sociology. I want to go and study sociology. Sociology, how much is a white person can study anything and be fine. Do you know why? Because they have generational wealth. I have somebody that I'm working with. She tells me, oh, when I finished college, instead of me to, my first job, I didn't even spend a dime to do anything. My grandfather bought me a car, paid my rent for like a year. What does that mean? It means for a whole year, she doesn't have to pay no bill aside just feeding.
But whilst we are in school, we are paying bills.
And we are still in school, we are already paying bills.
And you're sending money home.
And thank you, and you're already, my brother, thank you. And you're sending money home.
You're sending money home.
So what wealth are you building?
No, you are building the foundation.
The foundation for
the foundation. Oh my goodness, this is the African spotlight on Africa, and I have my friend here, MC Omo. Omo, you have your last words for our fellow Africans. We just want to close, and I think I know it's been a very insightful conversation. When we come here at All Power TV, we want you to learn something.
Yep.
We are talking, we're cracking jokes, we're doing this, but at the end of everything else, we want you to pick something out from it.
Yep.
That is wisdom.
Yep.
And that's what we're here for. Okay, All Power, we come here to learn. Omo, do you have your last words for your family, for your friends back home, Africans, and even African leaders? That's another topic.
I think for African leaders, right, I think the African leaders, we don't have leaders in Africa. We don't have leaders. We have people who are greedy, who just want to enrich themselves. There's an African, there's a guy in Nigeria, a governor who recently just passed. He was sick and he died. Such a guy would have traveled abroad for treatment.
Had they done it for Corona? Corona has helped us a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Such a guy would have traveled for treatment, but he couldn't travel, and he died. Now, my pain with that is he didn't learn his lesson. Personally, I want somebody to learn the lesson. He didn't learn his lesson because he died. He shouldn't have died. I wanted such a guy to learn to not die, but to remain sick for a long period of time.
Yeah.
To actually go through what poor masses go through.
Yeah.
Who can't travel to America to go for treatment, or London, or all these places. So we do not have leaders. We have people who are so greedy. They're so greedy that they just want this money all to themselves. Do you know the amount of wealth that African has? If Africans can just come together, if Africa can just come together, who is America? Who?
That's why they somehow don't want us to come together.
That's exactly the point. The same Western world will come together and say, oh, Africa is corrupt. Oh, Nigeria is the most corrupt country in the world. Who is corrupting Nigeria?
Yeah. Who takes the bribes?
I mean, there's a time in Lagos that they found about $50 million in somebody's house. Dollars. We don't print dollars. We don't print dollars. Somebody paid that money to somebody. So where? And I know for a fact we don't have $50 million in our bank. Somebody paid that money to somebody in Nigeria. So who is that person?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So the same people who are accusing us of being corrupt are the one corrupting us, and then it works for them to corrupt us because that will keep us low.
Yeah,
that will keep them in control, and that will keep us low. We have failed to recognize the strength that we have together. We failed to recognize the power that we possess as Africans. So, and when you fail to recognize those powers, then you're just a puppy. You're just a puppy. Can you just imagine if Africans could come together? That's what Gaddafi was going to do, bro. That's what Gaddafi was going to do. This is a deeper conversation, I'm telling you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It was very great conversation, and I would like you to subscribe to my channel. Send me your comments, like, share, subscribe. You know, we have to keep sharing. We have to keep spreading the word, and we have to have this, like I keep saying, significant conversations everywhere we meet. Okay, we're talking about African issues, what we face back home, what we face here, and stuff. And we're gonna have more. We're gonna invite you a lot. So
definitely, I'll definitely be here. I'll be here. You know, thank you for having me, and I hope that our viewers are able to learn one or two things. I just want to encourage everybody out there that, you know, this time, these are, you know, different times. You know, we're living in a way different times, and I want us to take, you know, intentional steps towards ensuring that we correct certain wrongs, and, you know, talk to our kids, encourage them to be serious and be intentional in their plans, in their decision makings, because I mean, we getting old, man, and we have these kids that don't have any attachment to Africa. This is where they will see as their home. Even if we take them home, the fact that they're born here means that a part of them will always be here.
Yeah.
So you have to ensure that they're going into school to study something that will be, you know, more profitable, and then we have to begin to create generational wealth, because that's why we keep talking about these white people. They create generational wealth. So we have to continue to talk about this. Hopefully somebody that needs to hear them will hear them and take steps into ensuring that is a thing of accomplishment. So thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, guys. See you later. Bye bye.
All right.